Hello everybody, welcome back for some more beer and blades. We'll get the beer first. This is another new one on me, 13 Guns, an intense hit of hops, American IPA, a salute to the original 13 states of America. And this claims the World Beer Awards Europe Gold, Crafty Dan. Now, didn't twig at first who Crafty Dan might be, but when I was reading the label, there is a Twitter address, I believe, at Daniel Thwaites. So basically, it's a Thwaites' IPA. Let's hope it's better than the shite they usually brew. Smells nice and hoppy. 5.5% by volume. Oh, that is nice actually, in fairness. Very hoppy. Bit grapefruity. I'm impressed with that. 13 Guns. So the blades, I was watching a video by Paddy's potato peelers where he featured his 4 top gentleman folders. At the end of the video, he put it out to anybody who wanted to join in on the theme. So that's what I'm going to do. Partly because, as you will gather by now, gentleman folders are kind of my thing. But also it gives me another opportunity to propound my theory. And like all good internet theories, it's based on no evidence at all. But I think it's at least plausible. So if you join me at the desktop, we'll have a look at my top 4 gentleman folders and my theory. Okay, gentleman folders. Let's start off with my theory, because my theory is that this is the pattern that the phrase gentleman folder originally applied to. Now the reason I say that, some time ago, probably the mid 18th century, it became illegal to carry swords and daggers in public if you're a civilian, but an exception was made for the gentleman's pocket knife. And this is what I believe that would have been. A slim cigar-shaped body with a large blade and a small pen blade. This is the Victorinox Pocket Pal. Very budget friendly. Plastic scales, probably 12 or 13 pounds. And a very nice little option. Not just made by Victorinox, there's also, or was also, a Wenger version. This one's got a keychain ring on it, but again we've got the main blade and this time a clip point small blade, metal scales, exposed rivets. Let's open them out. But as you can see, it's essentially the same design. We've got a Portuguese version. This one's made by iCell, a little bit smaller. Synthetic scales, but we've got the small pen blade, large pen blade, brass rivets, and these have all got a single back spring. But which one is going to take its place in my top 4 gentleman folders? Well, it's this version. And this is the Victorinox Secretary. As you can see, essentially the same knife, but with brushed A-lock scales. So, why is that one my choice out of these 4? Simply because if you whip this out in public, people will immediately recognise you are a gentleman of taste and discernment. So I'll put these off to one side. So that's the first one. My first choice for gentleman's folder, and what I believe is the knife pattern that the phrase originally referred to. So put that off to one side for a moment. What if you want something a bit more modern? Well, there's a few options. I picked these. First of all, Spyderco Spin frame lock. Because there's no actual definition of a gentleman's folder, there's no reason why it can't be a locking blade. You do need it to be a slip joint to be UK friendly, but not everybody has that restriction. We've got Benchmade Nakamura. Very nice, carbon fibre, nice bit of wood. Another option might be SOG Twitch 2 with the wooden handles. Again, not a massive knife. These I think are just under 3 inches. And the last contender I'm going to put up for this group is a Feldniven U1. So, a couple of options there if you wanted your gentleman folder to be a bit more modern. But which one is going to make the cut? Well, in this case, I'm going with the slip joint again, simply because it's a more realistic option for me, because it is, under most circumstances, street legal. So we'll put these others away. That's a little beauty. And there we have the Feldniven U1, laminated steel blade, dyed bone handle, slip joint. So we'll put that off to one side as well. What about a Barlow knife? I think a lot of people will be expecting to see a Barlow knife in my top 4, and I think it's a very good option. I think a lot of people will think of the Barlow as a gentleman's knife. So what have we got? Well, at the bottom end of the market, you could get something like a Rough Rider. White bone scales, 2 blades, usual taper, usual long bolster at the front. Nice typical Barlow. We've got a little bit upmarket from there. You could perhaps go with a slimmer Boca Plus Barlow. Very nice, very good value for money. I highly recommend this one with the bone scales, brass liners. I'm just going to fold these up because it's clearly not going to be very elegant trying to stack them. Nice snap on those blades. If you want to buy English, here we've got Sheffield single blade Barlow. Oh, strong spring. This is A. Wright & Sons. Typical clip point. Lovely buffalo horn scales and brass pins. Fit and finish not so good for the money, which is a shame because this buffalo's gorgeous. But there we have a single blade Barlow. And if you wanted fancy, I'm going to suggest something like this case, vintage, handmade. Lovely, beautiful bone scales. Another 2 blade Barlow. We've got half stops. We like half stops. testing my thumbnails there, aren't I? Let's try that one. There we go. Lovely, lovely piece. How's the focus gone? So, of those 4, which am I going to put through? Well, I'm going to discount the vintage case because they're not so easy to find, and I'm going to discount the A. Wright & Sons because it's very shoddy for the price, and I'm going to discount the budget Rough Rider, and I'm going to suggest a good balance is this Boca Plus. It's well made, it's not too expensive, about £22. Half stop. Ooh. Half stop on both blades. Very nice, 440C steel. So that's what I'm going to suggest for number 3. But what if you want a big knife? Although in the UK we're limited to 3-inch blades, not everybody is. So what could you go for? Well, you could go for a nice big friction folder. Lovely knife, this Claude Dozorn, made in France. Juniper handles. Lovely, lovely blade. Big knife. You could go for something a regional style, such as the Vercors. Big blade. Lovely wood scales. Corkscrew on this one. Just move this off a bit so we can get a little bit more room. Luthier, you'd have to consider having a Luthier as a contender. Classic design, French pocket knife. And then of course a Laguiole. This one is forged Laguiole with blonde horn scales and brass bolsters, corkscrew. Tricky choice for the big knife, but I'm going to discount the Claude Dozorn, Le Vercors, and possibly controversially, Luthier. My choice for a big gentleman's folder has to be a Laguiole. Lots of different reputable makers, Forged Laguiole, Fontenille Pateau, Artisan Coutelier, to name a few. Lots of different styles, with bolsters, without bolsters, synthetic, natural materials, carved bolsters, file work, with a corkscrew, without a corkscrew. But whatever combination, it's always a classic knife. So those are my 4 suggestions for a top 4 of gentleman folders. Can't get this lighting right, can I, today? I don't know. There we go, that'll have to do, I suppose. So, if anybody else wants to join in and show us their top 4, be very interesting to see. Thanks for watching.